Hey everybody, my name's Ben, we are the Beard Guys, and welcome to part 1 in our Creator Class series. In today's video, we're going to take a little bit of a look at my streaming PC and also at my OBS settings. So I upgraded my streaming PC about 6 months ago, and I went from an Intel machine to an AMD machine, and the original machine I'd had for coming up to 5 years, 4 or 5 years, pretty much the whole time we've been doing YouTube. Everything had been done on this old Intel machine. And it was a pretty good machine for its time. It had an i7, but it was a 4th gen. It was getting pretty old. And it felt about time to upgrade, primarily so we could both increase our settings in OBS to get better quality on stream, and also so I could render out videos quicker and edit them quicker when I'm doing my YouTube stuff over in Adobe Premiere. This is why I went for an AMD machine. I didn't feel like I needed to go for the Intel. After doing quite a bit of research, seemed to be the consensus was that the Ryzen processor, or the Threadrippers, can give you much better bang for your buck than the Intel i9s if your focus is a workstation rather than a gaming PC. And this PC is not for gaming really at all. I have played games on it, but its primary function is for running the stream, saving videos from the stream, and also editing and rendering. So first we're going to have a really quick look at my streaming PC's spec, and then we're going to have a look through my OBS settings, and hopefully you might be able to pick up a useful tip or two for setting up your own stream. So this new workstation PC I have is running the AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core CPU. For a motherboard, it's running the Asus TUF X570 Plus Gaming, and it's got 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 MHz Corsair RAM. Graphics card is on the slightly more sensible side. We went for an 8GB NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super. This seemed more than enough. There wasn't any need to go for a 2080 Ti or anything too crazy. Like I said, it's not really a gaming machine. It's worth having a decent graphics card in your streaming PC if you can afford it, because there are certain things that it's useful for. You can process your stream using your GPU. You can also render videos using your GPU power from Premiere. So it is useful to have a decent one in there, but there was no need to go and spend double what this one would have cost me to get a 2080 and have some extra FPS if I was playing games on it. Storage is pretty standard. I've got a 1TB SSD in there, and then a separate 4TB non-SSD that I use for data, as well as some externals. I did actually end up having to change the internal drive because, as a bit of an oversight, I originally got a 5400 RPM hard drive without really realizing the mistake I'd made, and then when I went to use the computer, we had loads of issues trying to run OBS where the videos kept skipping, and it just couldn't handle it because the hard drive was just not fast enough to deal with what the computer was trying to do. So I actually had to change the hard drive. We went to a 7200 RPM, which is what I had on my old machine, and all the problems went away. So if you buy yourself a really nice PC and you put a 5400 RPM drive in it, you're probably going to have some issues, so try and avoid doing that. I haven't overclocked this PC at all. I probably could, but I'm a bit reluctant to try it now because everything is set up and working very nicely and smoothly. And if there's one thing I've learned through streaming, it's if it ain't broke, don't touch it. So with no overclocking, we are just using a Corsair H115i Pro Hydro Series high performance GPU cooler, and that seems to be doing the trick just fine. So now onto my OBS settings, and to give you some perspective on how this runs on my PC, my CPU normally doesn't go above about 20, maybe 25% utilization, normally a little bit lower, so really not pushing it at all. When I used to run slightly lower settings than this, or really significantly lower settings than this on my old PC, that would often be hitting the max, and I'd have to turn off sources and make other tweaks to stop my CPU overloading. We have a bunch of sources going on. We have a capture card from my Xbox, we have a couple of different webcams, we have our microphones, we have our alerts, and a bunch of other little bits going on. So it's a reasonably intensive stream setup, and my scenes are a complete mess. So it's probably not the most efficient OBS setup either. So it's a testament to the power of the computer, just how well it does handle the settings we have. So first up, you can see on the streaming tab here, we are running 8K bitrate. So this is a pretty decent preset. I think I used to have this on maybe super fast, very fast. Once you start going below very fast, you start to get down to some really CPU intensive settings. Slow seems to handle just fine. I think we probably could go lower down this list, but there really is no need to. I think the difference in quality is going to be pretty much unnoticeable for a huge jump in CPU utilization. Over on the recording tab, we also have my computer saving a local video copy of the stream at a much higher bitrate. So we've got a 30K bitrate on this max quality preset being saved, and you can see this one is actually being saved using the NVENC, the new NVENC encoding, which is basically using my GPU to write this one, and my CPU is handling the stream. We could pretty comfortably run both of these on the CPU, but the GPU can handle this just fine, so it makes sense just to split one on the other. And this also helps if I do want to play something on PC. Normally I would just plug my laptop in and use that as the gaming PC, but because this PC is such a beast, it can actually run these settings whilst I play something like PUBG on sort of low to medium settings, and can handle that just fine without really dropping any frames on either the in-game play on PUBG or also in OBS as well. You can see I've got a bunch of audio tracks set up here to help me split out my audio a little bit for when I do editing. If I show you them in the audio tab here, you can see we've got track 1, which is everything all together, which is the stream output. We've got track 2, which is my desktop audio, which is going to be basically alerts, or if someone's talking to me on Discord, and also maybe if we were watching a clip back on Google Chrome or something, then all the audio that goes through my PC desktop is what goes through channel 2. Channel 3 is just my microphone audio like you're listening to now, and channel 4 is the audio from the cap cards, that is the Xbox game audio. For the stream, it's fine to just have all these going out together, but it's really handy for editing to have the rest of them separated out so that I might be able to cut out, say, some copyrighted music that can't be used on YouTube, or some bad quality audio coming through someone's mic, or just some intrusive alerts that we don't want to have on a edited and polished YouTube video. The audio settings are pretty standard. We're at 48K, and you can just see my audio sources there. There's no real crazy tweaking I've done on that. And on the video tab as well, we're just running 1080p at 60 FPS. A lot of the time I'm streaming from Xbox, particularly on PUBG, which doesn't really get anywhere near 60 FPS, but the webcams run at 60 FPS, and we might sometimes play other games that do manage to hit 60 FPS, so we just run it at 60 because we can. So that really covers it for everything I wanted to look at in this video. I basically just wanted to show you my new streaming PC's specs. I wanted to tell you how well it ran, and I wanted to show you what level of quality you could push out of OBS with this type of computer. I'm going to be doing some more of these videos in the future where I tell you a little bit about my stream setup, and also got some other things planned to give you some advice on streaming and making videos for YouTube. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, then click the like button down below, and also leave a comment and let me know any questions you might have about our setup here, about streaming on Twitch, about making gaming videos on YouTube, or anything else you think I might be able to give you some advice on, and I'll take that into consideration when I'm making the next video. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. We've got a private Discord room for our top tier Patreon supporters where they can come and talk to me one-on-one about any advice they want to get for setting up their streams. If you're interested in checking out our Patreon, I'll put the link down below. And don't forget, another great place to come and ask me for any advice is to come along to our live streams over on twitch.tv/thebeardguys every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 1 PM UK time. So thanks very much for watching. My name's Ben, we are the Beard Guys, and I'll see you next time.